In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email tom@guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
Back with you, Tom Gresham here. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Over on Twitter, I'm at GUNTALK. And, of course, tom@guntalk.com is the email address. I'm seeing a lot of messages over on Twitter right now. I ask, how, if any, has this changed your behavior? I said, have you changed your thinking or your behavior as a result of the Paris attacks? Different gun? I have one that says, company policy is no guns. Gonna get a very small carry 9 for deep concealment. Forget policy. Another says, also come January 1, open carry in Texas, I will conceal a full-size 9. The idea being that if you have open carry legal, you can conceal carry it if it becomes exposed that it's not a violation of the law. Another one says, I'm going to start carrying a shotgun cased in my car since I can't carry a pistol or a loaded firearm in New Jersey. Brings up an interesting point. I had a lot of people saying, in addition to my carry handgun, I'm going to keep a long gun in my car. You need to keep it secured, locked up somehow. Somebody said, well, it takes a while to get it out of there. Yeah, I understand. The immediate action item is the handgun you have on you. But if you can get back to your car, if you're at your vehicle and you can get out an AR, and, don't laugh. I mean, I know a lot of people who have ARs and a vest with lots of mags in it in their cars. Crazy? I don't know. Let me just ask you this. If you saw somebody shooting up a school, people say, oh, you can't go rushing in there. Really? Just killed a kid. Just killed another kid. Just killed another kid. You going to stand there? Just killed another kid. What you going to do? Just killed another kid. I'm thinking about, Michelle mentioned, she says, remember on the airliner, and the fellow knew they were all going to die, 9/11 airliner. He says, let's roll. Let's go take him out. Let's go take this plane down so it doesn't kill other people on the ground. They knew they were going to die. You just start off with, okay, maybe I'm not going to make it through this today, but maybe I can do some good on my way out. Or I can just die and not do any good, because it's kind of like it's your only choice. I can do some good or not do some good. Walter Mitty? Fantasyland? What do you think? I was out at Gunsight last week. Famous, it's called the Harvard of gunfighting schools out in Arizona. And we were at an event actually being put on by Colt. And I was delighted because, as you know, Colt has had some problems, financial problems, in bankruptcy. And they're coming out of bankruptcy, and they have some new products, which is great. I got to shoot them. We got to do some video on them. And I pulled Paul Spitale aside from Colt. We had just finished up shooting. And I grabbed him and said, come over here. I got to do an interview with you. So we did an interview with Paul, what's going on with Colt, and I thought you would enjoy it. So here's that interview. One of the great names in firearms, maybe the greatest name in firearms, is Colt. And everybody knows Colt. I don't care where you go around the world, people know the name of Colt Firearms. But if you're a gun person, you know, that's kind of not been there, and there have been some turmoil. Well, I'm here to tell you there's good news. And joining me right now to talk about that is Paul Spitale from Colt. Hey, Paul.
How you doing, Tom?
So you guys, I mean, you've been smiling all day. We're out here at gun site right now. We're shooting the cool guns that I can't talk about quite yet, but you've got a great story to tell.
We do. And a lot of that's happened with Colt of late, I couldn't be more proud of. You know, we're working to get our company restructured and our financials so we're in the house, but more importantly, to really rebalance our company towards our commercial markets. Most recently, I think we had a chance today to even shoot one of our new models, the Lightweight Commander.
Right.
And we really went back and looked at our assortment and made sure that we were offering the guns that people were really looking for. Not just are they the right models, but are they priced right? So we actually repositioned all our products back in May, so that now our standard government product $7.99 and our standard Defender is $8.99.
All right. In consumer speak, when you say we repositioned, you lowered the prices. Big time.
Significantly. Yeah. We spent close to $1 million to reposition those products for our consumer markets, and they hold up well, and they're really doing quite well in the marketplace. So one thing we did was rationalize our assortment. The second thing that we really did, the other leg of that stool and how we're repurposing this commercial business, is really around the consumer experience so that people could actually see Colts in the store front. So we went out, and now we have up to 2,700 dealers and counting. We're getting about another 100 dealers a week on our stocking dealer program. So customers can really experience, hold, feel, see Colts for the first time in many years. Some of these shops haven't had Colt inventories consistently.
Well, you just weren't making a lot of guns.
Yeah, well, in fact, when we met at NRA show, we're building twice as many handguns today as we were, and that's just a 5-month run. We're still improving our production. So things are changing mightily. The other thing that we're doing is the brand image. We're out there with, built one at a time, which is really the way our products are built and the heritage and what's there, and then proven every round. We're one of those special companies that has this connection with not only our military troops, but the heritage that served our troops for really back to the Civil War. You're talking about firearms.
I was just going to say, you got single action revolvers that everybody knows is Colt. You got 1911s that everybody knows is Colt. You got the M4, M16 that everybody knows is Colt.
Correct.
I mean, when they think about a Colt, those images pop into people's minds.
Exactly. So our brand promise now is built one at a time, proven every round. You'll see that depicted in all of our advertising. Consumers really understand what we're doing with the brand going forward, and we're also back in the mainstream. I mean, we're talking to you, and we're on broadcast media.
Well, you're actually being out there. I mean, and to be fair, Colt they really focused on the military contracts, turned its back, if you will, didn't do a lot with the consumer side. Yeah. And that's changed completely. I mean, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're doing as the organization. And part of this restructuring, and one of the reasons that investment companies are coming in and are excited about Colt's future is just because of that. We have the ability not only to serve the governmental markets, not only to serve the international markets, but to serve law enforcement markets and to serve the commercial markets. And these are big markets that we're serving. And we're becoming a very, very balanced company, and that's going to be for years to come.
So when people say, I want a Colt, and now you guys have said, hey, guess what? You can't afford one.
So one of the things that drives me, Tom, is I'm an enthusiast, a shooter. I enjoy all the shooting sports.
Yeah, I mean, you had the shooting bug before you started doing this Colt thing.
Exactly. But what I really love is when I was in my mid-20s, the first handgun I purchased was at Green Top Sporting Goods outside of Richmond, Virginia. And there was no question which gun I was going to buy. I was going to buy a Colt 45 ACP, and that was definitely the gun I was going to buy. And when I opened up that blue box and that Gold Cup trophy national match, and to this day, and is my favorite gun. We'll be shooting it here at Gun Sight, but it's always near me and always around when we shoot. And I want to give the consumer that experience because there's something special about that first time you get a chance to buy a Colt. Know now that you can buy our standard government product, which is just so special the way that product is built.
Right.
It just feels different. to be able to buy that product for just under $800 is something really special.
That's a lot of value.
Absolutely.
To have the Colt name on it.
Exactly.
All right, now we're giving away a Colt. Now, we're working with you guys, and this is very cool. Looks like we're giving away the Colt, is it 1991?
Yeah, 1991.
Okay, 1991, and a Colt carry kit. So you get a Blade Tech holster, magazine, a Colt baseball cap. All they got to do is go to guntalk.com/win. They can enter there. So that's something we're doing. But also, you've got an interesting promotion going on basically through the end of the year right now.
Yeah, right through December 31st, fall carry days. And we started it back in October, and anyone that purchases our standard government products or a standard Defender product, we're going to be giving away. Not only do you get these products that are really some of our best sellers, the government models and our standard Defender products, and these are priced now right, but more than that, they also are coming with a Kydex holster from Blade Tech that we're giving the consumer.
Okay.
We're also throwing in a nice baseball cap that they can do for wearables and show their pride of ownership, and a free magazine, all for the prices of those products. So we're really excited about that. Runs right on through December of this year. So
okay, just call it the Fall Carry Days.
Yeah, Colt Fall Carry Days.
There you go. All right, so as we look forward, I know people are saying, all right, where are you with the bankruptcy? That's one of the big questions you get probably every day.
Yeah. So we're making a tremendous amount of headway in terms of the bankruptcy. We already have our preliminary plan filed with the bankruptcy courts. We expect to come out of the bankruptcy right about the end of this fourth quarter, right in the beginning part. We'll be heading to SHOT with being out of bankruptcy completely. Our exit financing's in place. Our discussions with our union has been terrific. I can tell you that we're really excited about the future of the company and the new ownership of the company. So things are looking really good for Colt.
We're going to be seeing some new products?
Oh, yeah. In fact, we gave you a little sneak peek.
I got to shoot them, and I can't believe I can't tell everybody about it. I can tell them this. They're really good, and they really shoot well, and there's some really good prices on them. How's that?
That's perfect.
I didn't give away anything.
I will tell you, though, even, the first one that we're building out, and we're actually shipping that product now, is the Lightweight Commander. And what's special about that, we kind of bridge between those standard government cut products and our standard 1991s, and then some of the more aspirational products. But we're talking about Novak sight cuts and a well-designed grip safety and a sight structure on the undercut trigger guard. And
the double spring, which is something you developed for the Marine pistol.
Marine pistol.
Right. And that thing reduces recoil, and it has much longer spring life.
Yeah, we found even the feedback we got from the Marine Corps is that the spring life was twice as much in terms of the spring life. And for competitive shooters as well as people that are often at the range, that makes a difference. So we're really happy with that product and the way that came out, and more to come along those. Well, what do you think of those G10 grips, too?
Oh, man, they feel great. They look good. I had a ball. Didn't get to shoot them nearly enough. Well, that's always the way, right? Never get to shoot enough.
That's true, too. And there's just one more thing I wanted to tell you, and that is, if you'll see on our advertising, all depicted at retail and point of purchase, that every time a person buys a Colt firearm, starting this past June, we're donating a portion of proceeds towards Folds of Honor. And Folds of Honor is a very special organization. They're our primary charity, and Colt gives to Folds of Honor. And the reason it's important, give scholarships to people that are either fallen heroes or they've been in battle to the point where they can't provide scholarship funding to their families. Last fall, they gave $10.5 million in scholarships.
What?
So we're
$10.5 million?
And we had our first meetings with those folks. We were looking at what primary charity we really wanted to focus on, and we had met Major Ed Polito, and everything fell into place. And we just felt like that was the right place for Colt to be, and we're very excited about what we're doing with them.
So anybody who buys a Colt is actually contributing and helping with the scholarship program.
That's exactly right. And
giving
more than just the purchase itself.
Well, I got to tell you, there are a lot of people rooting for you. Everybody's saying, we want Colt to succeed, and now I see what you're doing. I have no doubt you guys are making headway, and it's a bright future ahead of you.
Behind every revolution is a patriot. Just as this great country was founded on the ideals of many, the new Mossberg Patriot is the sum of all that came before it. Reliable, timeless, built to last, The classic American hunting rifle, with a heritage forged over generations, has come home. Mossberg, built rugged, proudly American.
In the fight for gun rights, we need ammunition, intellectual ammunition. And no one does it better than researcher John Lott, author of More Guns, Less Crime. John created the Crime Prevention Research Center to counter the junk studies being done to push gun control. But he doesn't have the big bucks of billionaires like Michael Bloomberg. All he has is us. So I'm asking for your help. Go to crimeresearch.org and donate what you can. This research makes all the difference. People ask what they can do to help preserve the Second Amendment. Honestly, this is one of the best moves you can make. If you can give a lot, that's great, but even the cost of a box of ammo helps. We need John Lott's intellectual ammunition. Go to crimeresearch.org. It's time to step up. crimeresearch.org.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
The Ruger LCRX is a variation of the LCR that features an external hammer, allowing it to be fired in single action mode. The LCRX can also be fired in double action mode. It features a monolithic frame made from aerospace grade 7000 series aluminum, a patented Ruger friction reducing cam that results in a smooth, non-stacking trigger pull, and a patent pending polymer fire control housing that significantly reduces weight and helps reduce recoil. The Ruger LCRX Revolver, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Talking about the attacks in Paris, of course. A lot of us, those who are gun people, gun guys and gals, we look at it and say, well, you know, nobody in Paris could have a gun to protect themselves. And others will say, well, I couldn't have done anything about it. You got eight guys with bombs and AKs. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's a crummy situation. And I guess maybe, you know, you figure out, okay, you can't do a superhero deal where you go in and save everybody. But man, you know, you might have been able to save a few people. If you're all into a room and you could close it off and somebody's trying to get into the room, you shoot the SOB. I don't know. There are no guarantees. There are no guarantees in life. There's no guarantee in this. The only guarantee is if you don't do anything, he's going to kill you. If you don't do anything, he's going to kill as many people as he can kill. That's what they came to do. So do something. Do something. And the do something starts today. Not when it happens, it starts today. Line 3, Robert's joining us out of North Dakota. Robert, what do you think about all this?
Hey, Mr. Gresham, thank you for taking my call, sir. Well, I think it's an absolute tragedy that what happened over there. You know, the liberals have everything they want in gun control over in France, and look what happened. And my heart and prayers go out to the victims. You know, Tom, I'm a veteran. I've called the show before, and I have a comment, and then I have a suggestion. And before I give my comment, I'd certainly like to say thank you to you, sir, for all the knowledge and advice that you give the American people and your listeners. It's very sound advice. I've listened to you for quite a long time. And it's very good what you do, and you know I salute you, sir, for all your efforts and you and your staff.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And so my comment is, I just don't understand where this sheep being led to a slaughter mentality comes from. You mentioned in your last segment about the airline flight where the last words that were heard were, let's go, let's roll, by some very brave American heroes there, very courageous. And those shots you said were, the average was 8 inches distance. I just don't understand why they didn't try to rush some of those guys. There was well over 100 people there and a handful of terrorists. Now, I know the situation with the AK-47s and the chaos that ensues in a gunfight, but something's got to be done. There's only 3 outcomes. You're either going to survive, whether it be escape or whether it be just you survive, you didn't get shot, or you're going to get wounded, or you're going to be killed. So I don't understand why somebody, a handful of people didn't try to rush those guys. Something, like you just said, do something. And then my suggestion, Mr. Gresham, is, there's a lot of us veterans out here in our country that would love nothing more than to give advice or a little bit of training to anyone who asks. A lot of us know veterans. Some of our family members are veterans. Ask them. Ask us. Not everybody has the ability to receive, a couple $100,000+ worth of training from the government. But we would be more than happy to share this knowledge and information for close quarters, hand-to-hand, other types of observational training. You had a gentleman on a couple shows ago that had a very good book. I think it was called, if memory serves, it was called Left of Zero?
Left of Bang.
Left of Bang, okay. From what I gather from listening to that gentleman, that's a very good book for people to read, to be able to assess situations and, determine things that are out of the normal and out of the ordinary. It gives you a little bit of an edge.
Exactly. And Robert, look, I appreciate it. Good information. And I love the idea of seek out a veteran, particularly a recent veteran, somebody who's had training and, probably the World War II veterans, they know stuff, but they can't help you anymore. But people like Robert can. And Robert, I would say, offer to help at a gun store, a shooting range, offer to teach a class. As I say, the action starts today, right now, this moment, not when it goes bang. This is all left of bang now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, jump on Amazon, get the book Left of Bang, you'll understand. It's what happens before the incident starts that may end up saving your life.
Broadcasting nationwide, you're listening to Gun Talk. And now, back to Tom.
The topic on the floor right now is, as you watched the news reports of the attacks, shootings, bombings in Paris, and you did the same thing we all did. You said, okay, that is coming here. Not that could come in here, that's probably coming here. No, that's absolutely 100% that's coming here. Did you then say, okay, then what? Therefore, what? Therefore, I may want to look at what I carry. Therefore, I may want to get more training. Therefore, I may want to get some training. I'm going to practice more. I'm going to get an airsoft gun that's the same as my carry gun, and I'm going to train with it every single day. Trigger time, drawing, moving, walking through houses, shooting stuff. Yeah, all of that. Go get some trauma medicine training. Have and know how to use a tourniquet and something like Quick Clot. Having it's not enough. It's kind of like having a gun's not enough. You got to know what to do with it. There are classes out there for that. That may be what saves lives. Heck, besides that, you might have an occasion to use it in a traffic accident or somewhere else. So have you changed your thinking about your carry, your loadout, maybe even what you have in the car? Line 2, Grant's been thinking about that. He's in Oregon. Hey, Grant.
Hi.
Hey there. What are you, I see there, you've been carrying or taking an AR-15 with you. Where do you keep it?
About 2 years. I keep it in the hide case in the back seat of my pickup on the floor. takes up a lot of room, but more than one coyote has regretted that. And
it's an interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, thinking about the load you're going to carry, I gave that some thought a couple of years ago, and I have 4 extra magazines. This is an AR and 6.5 Grendel, and I carry a frangible load, and then also a standard big game load with it.
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking about different situations, and then I have a little Smith 357 Magnum with a crimson trace on it. That's my standard carry gun, and so I have both of those. I do want to get some training, and I've been definitely giving that some more thought in the last few days. Don't have any formal training. Practice a lot.
Okay, practice a lot, but the thing is, if you don't have training, you don't really know what to practice. If you're not practicing shooting from the ground, laying on your back, shooting from your side, doing reloads in the middle of all that, you're not really practicing the good stuff, what you need to be doing. Let me do this. I'm going to throw this thought out. Crass commercial message, okay? But look, we made some DVDs, and I think they're really good. I think they're very instructive. On concealed carry, on fighting with the 1911, but forget the 1911 part of it. It's just really good on gunfighting. If you go to shopguntalk.com, again, shopguntalk.com, get all of the DVDs. If you can't get to a trainer right away, this can at least start the process in your head. Oh, this is the kind of stuff I need to learn. This is the kind of stuff I need to start working on. This is the kind of stuff I need to practice. Yes. All of those things. Shopguntalk.com. Grab those DVDs. Good on you. For those who are saying, well, I can't carry a loaded AR in my car. Okay, fine. Doesn't have to be loaded. You can have loaded mags, somewhere else. It doesn't take long to load an AR-15, grab a loaded mag, shove it in, drop the bolt, good to go. Not a big deal. Would you have time for that? I don't know. You don't know. But how bad would it be to have the time, to need to do it, and it's back in the gun safe at your house? And people are out there dying, and you could have done something about it. Remember if you're old enough, the guy in the tower at University of Texas killing all those people from the tower? You know how they were able to save lives? There were people in their trucks on campus who reached in and got their deer rifles and started shooting at this guy and keeping his head down. Yeah, just people like you and me. Shot back at him, kept his head down. And then one of the citizens there, went in with a police officer and went all the way up there, and they killed him. You may have the opportunity. Would it not be horrible to not have made the commitment and do what you had to do? Line 4, Benny's with us out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Hey, Benny, what's going on here?
Good afternoon again, Tom. I've got a bit of a question for you. I know there's been this 45 versus 9mm debate going on as long as there's been such calibers.
Right.
Now, however, and here's the but. In my wheelchair, I've got a pouch, and after Friday night, it became obvious to me to put the larger round count of 9mm. I've got 15+1 in my old Model 59 Smith & Wesson from the Nixon era into that pouch, as opposed to the 10 Foglio in 45 ACP with its 10+1. Granted, it's also a much heavier firearm, but from my level of perspective, height-wise, let's say, I've found that I'm much more capable after training than we are prior to training, of course. And in my go bag, I've got what you were mentioning a little while ago, the whole set of tourniquets, the whole trauma kit, the whole first aid kit. Everything is in the go bag that hangs over the handlebars, I guess you could call them, on the back of the chair.
Now, is there, Benny, do you have a question for me about the stopping power over quantity?
Well, yes, sir. It's the quantity over, the quality over quantity in this situation. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing going with the 9mm, even though there's, between the two double-stack spare magazines, we've got 15 more rounds. All
right, let me jump in. I'm going to answer this for you. In the studies that have been done in terms of stopping attacks, whether it's good guys or cops shooting the bad guys, there is statistically no difference between a 45, a 40, and a 9mm in handguns. They're all mediocre. I mean, they're handguns. They're mediocre at stopping people. It takes like 2.5 hits, not shots, 2.5 hits generally to stop a bad guy. So if there's no difference in them, as my friend Greg Lappin said, he says, I tell people, he's a great trainer. He says, here's the deal. There's two guns sitting here on the table. One is a 7-shot 45, and one is an 17, 18, or 19 shot 9mm. That's your house. There is one or more or a lot of bad guys in your house, and your kids and your wife are in the house, and they're going to start killing them in 60 seconds. You can only have one gun. You don't know what the threat is inside. Which gun are you going to pick up? Everybody is going to pick up the gun that has more ammo. It really, truly is as simple as that. There's no substitute for having enough ammo. I was watching the HBO miniseries The Pacific this morning. We're talking about religion. The guy asked this guy in the South Pacific, in the Marines, he says, well, what do you believe in? He said, I believe in ammunition. Not a bad thing to believe in.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com.
A great trigger can make you a better shooter. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. Installation is easy. Give yourself the Timney Trigger advantage. To see more and order online, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
It's time for the Brownells Trivia Question. Brownells, serious about firearms since 1939. Are you a gun know-it-all? Well, you may have a chance to win the Brownells GUNTALK FN SCAR 17S Dream Gun and a trip to the NRA show in Louisville, Kentucky, May 19th through the 22nd. Here we go. The 75 caliber British Brown Bess musket is the longest-serving military shoulder arm in history. Counting its variations, how many years of service did the Brown Bess have? 27, 93, or 114. To answer and have a chance to win, go to brownells.com/guntalk. That's brownells.com/guntalk. When it comes to firearms, Brownells has more, knows more, and does more, and guarantees it all forever. Brownells is serious about firearms.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun. Straight to the phones. Line 1, Colby is with us out of Lubbock, Texas. Colby, what you thinking here?
Well, Tom, I was wanting to see your perspective if you've checked out any of the new Lehigh Defense projectiles. The Extreme Penetrator particularly has my interest. And they've changed the idea of a hollow point dramatically. Have relief cuts, very visually reminiscent of a Phillips head screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
And they're disrupts tissue dramatically more effective than most of your traditional hollow points.
It sounds kind of like the polycase ammo that we've shot. We've done some video with that, where it's not an expanding bullet, but it kind of squirts the fluids out to the side. Fairly interesting stuff, and I want to do some more testing with it, but at this point, it looks very promising. Have you had a chance to shoot any of it?
Yes, sir. And I'm very impressed with wild cadavers as well as ballistic gel. It's pretty impressive. I'm going to depend my life on it at this point.
Yeah, look, I know people who are carrying it now. You know, Ruger just came out with a branded version of that, of the polycase ammo. For those who don't know what we're talking about, and it's hard to explain it. You kind of have to see a picture of the bullet and you go, oh, that's different. And then when I tell people it doesn't expand, they go, well, then what good is it? You go, yeah, but it creates all this trauma. You just got to, I tell you what, if you go to our website, our YouTube channel, just look for Gun Talk on YouTube. You can see the video of us shooting that into ballistic gel. You see what we're talking about. But yeah, this is very interesting technology, Kobe. I appreciate the call because I don't know where it's going to go, but it is quite promising. Appreciate that. Line 3, Lee's with us out of Eastern Washington. Lee, what are you carrying here?
Well, I've always been traditional. Ever since going to gun sight 2 times, I carry 1911s. Good 1911s. You don't have to fight with them. I mean, you don't have to fiddle with them. They have been gone over, or they start out real good. They're not cheapos.
Right. Understand.
And I am very familiar with them. One thing I've noted is we're all different. Like Dirty Harry said, you got to know your limitations. So some people, if you learn something today, you'll know it in 20 years, like riding a bike. Other people won't know it for 2 weeks. You have to realize who you are, whoever that may be, and plan accordingly. But today I was calling to mention something you have a number of times, flashlights.
Yes.
When my younger son went to Afghanistan, I sent with him a Surefire with a red filter so other people can't see you so much at night, a little flop-up red filter. Right. And also, I sent cats to him. That is not a meow cat. That's combat action tourniquets.
So he would have. And the thing is, every person needs to have his or her tourniquets on him or her. So whether it's stuffed in a purse or stuffed in a little belt pouch or whatever, you need to not only have the tourniquets, but everybody needs to know how to use them.
Yes, sir. And the best deal I might have found on a flashlight recently, I've carried UK, that's underwater kinetics kryptons for some time. I'm done with mag lights. I drop them. The contact does not stay good. I've had it. But these UK underwater kinetics flashlights, they have a new one out. It's 4 AAA batteries with an LED. I just found them. I still have the old kryptons, but I've dropped them. They still work. You drop them in the water, they still work. But the LEDs are supposed to have a lot more light, which they seem to, and it's supposed to last just as long as the krypton bulb.
And they're tough. They're really strong. I love the LEDs. I've been carrying the Streamlight. Yeah, Streamlight. Little one cell, has one CR123 battery in it. I've got 2 of them on my nightstand. I hand them out. They're about $35 for the discount houses. So yes, having a light is vital because when all the power goes out, if it's dark, you can't find your way out of there. You just can't if you're in the dark. So, yes, everybody should have a flashlight. Yeah, I want to talk about lasers in a minute, too. As we have done first-person defender over and over again, we keep finding that people don't use their sights. They do use the lasers. We ask them afterwards, did you see your sights? No, but I sure saw that laser. And then here's a thought for you. With a laser, I bet you can make a shot at a lot longer range with your handgun than you can with iron sights. Have you tried that? All right, back with you. Yeah, what are you carrying? What's on your belt? Not your wallet. Forget that. Training. Let me throw out one other thing. There's a people going, wow, you guys are really out there. You're paranoid. You're crazy. Well, let me ask you a question. What's the downside of doing all this? Is there a downside? So I go out and get a bunch of training and I become a better shot. Had a lot of fun. Met some interesting people. Became more aware of my surroundings. Able to help if somebody needs some help. Whether or not that help involves a firearm. So what's the negative to it? Get some medical training, some trauma training, carry around a few things that can help other people. Not seeing the downside of that. I'm going to throw one other thought out here. And this applies to me first. So I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. Get back in shape. It very well could be in an emergency situation that your ability to move continuously for a long distance, not necessarily fast, but move to climb over stuff, to move, to walk, maybe to run, that may make the difference between living and dying, getting out of there. There's really no downside to getting in shape. Some of us who suffer from the Dunlap disease, our belly doesn't lap over our belt. So we got to get rid of some of that. Started today on my treadmill program, so we're going to work on that. Strength training, flexibility training, endurance training. I don't care where you get your motivation. That's a good thing. That's just flat out a good thing for you. Carlton is on line 2 out of Augusta, Georgia. Hey, Carlton.
Hey, Tom. Got a question for you.
Sure.
About red dot sights. I've got a Ruger Super Blackhawk, which I bought secondhand. It came with a Loophole 2-power scope, and I really wanted. It's in 44 Magnum, so I thought that'd be a fun thing to hunt white-tailed deer and pigs. But with the long eye relief that a scope on a pistol requires, I wonder what your thoughts were on a red dot sight for that pistol. It already has a rail; it's ready to go.
Sure.
And if so, are there special ones for a pistol I need to consider?
Okay. Last question first. No, just any red dot sight will work. Because there's no eye relief involved in red dot sights. You could have it close to you or far away. Doesn't matter. Yes, it's a pretty good idea. Now, with a scope is a great way to go, and you could do precision shots with that. You're looking at a 150-yard rig, honestly, with a scope on that 44 Magnum if you do your part. But a red dot sight is going to be much faster, and if you're going to be shooting pigs up close, then I would go. And red dot should be good out to 100 yards with no problem at all. I kind of like where you're going with this, so I would. I like the idea of the red dot on there. I think that's a good idea. And I appreciate the call. I mentioned lasers earlier. With a laser on your firearm, with your handgun, with iron sights, you might have trouble hitting a target at 25 and certainly maybe at 50 yards. With a laser, it's easy. Let me say that again. It's easy with a laser. If you have proper trigger control, you simply put the laser on the target. Why would you ever need to use that? People say, oh, man, all gunfights are, 2 yards, 3 yards. Really? What if that dude's up in the balcony with an AK and he's shooting people, and you've got a 50-yard shot to make? Dot on target, press the trigger. Dot on target, press the trigger. Make the problem go away. Time to rethink what we do, what we carry, and by all means, how we train. Be right back.